What's up guys, this is Zach from Counterspace Garage, and tonight we are here to dyno test the brand new 2020 Supra MK5 on our new Dynapack hub dyno. We've done a series of 3 separate tests here, about 20 total pulls, to test various conditions. The first set you'll see here, represented on the left side by torque and the right side by horsepower. Our dotted red line and our dashed green line are the stock car, up to operating temperature but not heat soaked in the slightest. So we gave the car plenty of time between these pulls so it could cool down, get to ideal temperatures before starting the next one. And you'll see that when we do that, the power output is incredibly consistent, right around the factory rating of 360 foot-pounds of torque, well, between 358 and 370, 380 foot-pounds there, and a horsepower of around 305 to 315. So the dyno reads a little bit lower than a dyno jet or similar, but that's not really what we're looking at today. I've narrowed down the amount of pulls here so that we see only what's relevant. And the next set we have here, we've decided to torture test the car a little bit and do back-to-back pulls to see what happens to the power as the temperatures continue to skyrocket. And what you can see here on this solid green line, which was about the 3rd or 4th back-to-back pull, is that it starts pulling out torque in the mid-range here from around 3,500 to 5,000 RPM. What it's actively doing is lowering the boost output to try and keep combustion temperatures in control and subsequently keep oil and coolant temperatures under control as well. However, since we're in a very limited airflow environment and we are continuing to push the car, we do not expect it to be able to cool down. We know it's going to keep heat soaking, and the absolute limit of that is represented by the solid orange line here, where it has started to pull torque across the board, and because it was still in an unsafe temperature zone, it gave us a complete and full cut at about 6,300 RPM. So our direction for today was primarily to establish a baseline, both for the car in happy conditions and what we would call a torture test. From here, the car will be coming back in a couple of weeks to do a ground-up calibration designed for on-track performance, mainly prioritizing consistency in power output, proper modulation of the throttle, and predictable power delivery, as well as ensuring that even with additional output to the car, all of the thermal protections are both still able to do their job, and that the car runs well enough that you don't hit them in the first place, even on the track in those torturous conditions. What we expect to gain from this is a broad torque increase across the board. We should be able to smooth out the small inconsistencies in the power band here, and with any amount of luck, we should be able to narrow the gap between ideal conditions and heat-soaked torture conditions after tuning. Stay tuned for more, and make sure to follow Supra MK5 as well as Counterspace Garage on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.